So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. It is Wednesday. We have a hump day grid to hop into and a fantastic wine to sample today. This is a 2022 Spanish Chitón, which, I mean, if it wanted to be a little bit harsher than a hush, it could just be cállate. But this is literally a bottle of hush wine. Really interesting name, cool name for it. I love the artwork on the label as well. On the nose, very fruity, very sweet. It's like going to one of those fruit heavy continental breakfast buffet lines right at the hotel. You're just smelling them come off here. Very, very fruity. We're talking berries. We're talking about citrus. Thinking oranges and some grapefruit. Some plum in there, blackberry. It is just, it's pretty intense. This is like every childhood dream breakfast, right? You know, along with whatever your favorite cereal was. Just beautiful on the nose. And it's right at about 60 degrees Fahrenheit here, 15 Celsius. Perfect serving temperature for this particular wine, and I got to tell you, very dry, as sweet as it is on the nose, and you're kind of getting that olfactory double play going on there, but this is very dry on the palate. No tannins, just it's not remarkable. There's nothing really to speak of tannin-wise. You are pretty much open to anything you want on this particular wine. But, you know, again, if you want to ice your Chardonnay, ice your Chard, right? I mean, it's up to you. What you want to eat with it and what you like is on you. But it's got some pretty fantastic legs. You can see through it pretty well. And I would say that what would be best with this would be anything that goes with sriracha sauce. That just feels like what this needs to be. I would have loved this with this evening's omelet. This was wonderful. Shotzi put in there some of that smoked Czech Republic cheese. It was so good. It was just the way to go every time. So fantastic wine. So glad we picked this up at Von Fass. Wonderful little wine outlet right here in the neighborhood. And that's a good amount of solver's courage to get us in after a long day on the road. I was down in Ansbach today, down in more southern Bavaria, and it was about 3 hours on the road. It's a lot of your life during the day to have to try to recapture. So today in history in 1977, oddly enough, it was when Hamida Jandoubi was the last person in France or on an international scale to be executed via guillotine. You can only imagine what the walk to that gallows is like. I can't even imagine. I just really can't. And of course, on a lighter note, in 2008, the Large Hadron Collider was powered up. CERN, right? That's a really, really significant thing. And we have learned so much from that particular institution. It's been an amazing thing. When I was going through the history for the day, I noticed there was a couple of other cool things about it too. I mean, back during the Revolutionary War, today was the day that Nathan Hale volunteered to become a spy for George Washington. Wouldn't be too much longer than he would be saying he has but one life. Regret is he only has one life to give for his country. I mean, it was just really a lot of that. And of course, apparently, the lock-stitch sewing machine was invented somewhere in the 1800s. It was all interesting, but the guillotine stood out because I don't know. It just seems so. So it is what it is. So, dictionary.com word of the day is Leviathan, and it's just anything of immense size, power, a real Leviathan. And hopefully that'll be the case for TCU football this year. Maybe it'll be a real Leviathan again. So who knows? We'll see when we get there. But I'm really excited. I'm always pumped whenever college football is on. So let's go ahead and hop into our grid here and see what we've got. So for our hump day grid, September 10th, that means tomorrow is the anniversary when I joined the Army, basically, what led me to join the Army. But it looks like we have a crossword debut from Carl Vandenberg and Harit Raghunathan. And I'm really pretty excited about hopping into this one. So let's get to it. See what we got. So a spiritual principle symbolized by an endless knot. And I do believe that would be karma. Let me check it. Call L, Superman's birth name. Change as a legislative bill. How about to amend? And let's see. Pal in Paris, mon ami. And then we have maybe intensify with, okay, we're going to rev this one up. Boy, if we hadn't had anything at this point, I probably would have put in amp, kind of amp up. But maybe, yeah, we're doing pretty good here. So we got a skimpy serving of foie gras, say. Well, that's goose liver. Pate, of course, delicious. So probably liver something. Let's see what we got. Richard of York gave battle in vain, and that sounds like the Roy G. Biv. So a mnemonic. I've heard that one before, but it didn't stick with me quite like Roy G. Biv, I don't know why that particularly did. But every art student, learns, these things, the colors of the rainbow, the spectrum, whatnot. You get tested on everything from secondary to tertiary colors and blends and what's a tone and what's a shade and what's actually a color versus what's not. Always fascinating. Let's see. So one of Daniel Radcliffe's paparazzi say. I don't know. These are clearly these are italicized, so this must be the theme. Quote from a magazine rep, talk about an ad rate, perhaps. So I'm saying liver. Liver what? Women's professional tennis matches have 3 of them, and that would be sets. Otis's love interest on Netflix's Sex Education. Well, I'd have to have seen it. Have a cow. Rock, for one. Carne asada. Okay, there we go. We finally got something we can work with there. Chitón. Cállate. Why am I reaching for the bottle when I've got a glass right here? So have a cow. Willow whose twigs are used in basketry. I guess this is the osier. I think. Rock, for one. I don't know. Dallas Baller could be a Mav. That's like the neighborhood where I'm from. So suffix with sulf, going with "ide." And mesh for securing items in transport. And I'm thinking maybe a cargo net. And glass in a frame could be a pain. And so engage in a bit of back and forth. So one of Daniel Radcliffe's paparazzi say, I think we got a Potter here. So got you, Harry. Small-minded could be petty. And Billy Joel's blank from an Italian scenes from an Italian restaurant. Opening on a stage. Okay. Act 1, perhaps. Included in correspondence, say. I'm a CC'd. And ice cream maker Joseph. See, I didn't know his name was Joseph. But if it's 3 letters, it's going to be Eddie. Now I know it's Joseph Eddie. Now I feel like I got to really get to know who this guy was. Purpose could be maybe sake. And so Heinz bottle blueprints say, well, I'm thinking we got liver and Potter. Let's go with ketchup. And you try. It's a little long. Password creator could be a user. And feeling of dizziness with the maybe spins. And certain tennis shot could be a slice. I'm a fan. Alternative to mushrooms. Wow, that's a pretty significant alternative. Remark to the audience, like an aside, like this. I mean, they're humorous, I suppose, right? Place to wear a mitt. How about an oven? Let's see what we got here. So you try. You try. Have. Can't say have a go. That won't fit it. Maybe, let's see what we got here. Pack animal related to camels. You know, I've been wondering about these here, so I'm thinking at it. Have at it. Idahoan hallmark of a typical Greek tragedy could be an irony. Just a quick check on that. Boatload could be a ton. I'm feeling good about it too. Nerve-wracking could be tense. And let's see here. There you are. There you are. Saw you. Demeanors could be meows. And trailing behind. Like corned beef in a Reuben sandwich. How about on rye? Idahoans say. Is this an S down here? Many characters in Better Call Saul. Abbreviation, I don't know. With skepticism. Askant. Trailing behind. Could be in tow. So, if this an S, maybe a scant. Flew past. Askant. Absurdly easy task. That would make this a K. So therefore, maybe a cake walk. And let's just try to spell it correctly here. And so, flew past with skepticism. So I think maybe we got a scant. I mean, I feel like I can put that in there. And this, it looks like, I don't know where we're headed with this one. Many characters. So these probably be attorneys. And then so flew past. I mean, I guess this could be shot by. And where I'm kind of trying to go with this is I'm wondering if this isn't a tater stater. Idahoan. So they're from the potato state, the tater state, but then it'd be a tater stater in Idahoan. And I think that's really clever. If I'm spelling that correctly, I'm not sure. Color akin to caramel would probably be 10, I would have been imagining. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, no, perhaps. Don't think I've ever seen that in the grid before. Genre that punk rock paved the way for could be emo. So something gotten by a scapegoat could very well be the blame. The blame. FF's opposite rewind. Okay, so, okay, this is really good. The biggest and most loving of hugs, say. I don't know. Let's see. Quaint term of address for a noble woman. Maybe milady. And this would be yin. Or a symbol for the cult. Great music. Love the cult. Just love the cult. God in Italian, dia, dio, depending, Ravenclaw. So we got a dio and a talon. So, after all, so physicists who built upon Volta's work, and that would be an ohm. That would be ohm themselves. So, mother smother. Okay. Oh, this is fun. It's kind of weird to figure out the theme at the bottom, but blank madness, punny name for a barber shop. I don't know. Let's see. Avenue crossers could be streets. So stereotypical name for a Dalmatian could be Spot. Bad thing to try to do from the middle lane, that would probably be bad to turn. So aviation, maybe arrow. Let's get straight here. And no, I think we would have sheer here, sheer madness. So yeah, I did. Boy, I totally fouled that one up. I think it's sheer mother smother. Okay, I think I got that. So Heinz bottle blueprint could be a ketchup sketch up. This is clever. This is a clever Wednesday grid. I'm liking this very much, Cole Vandenberg and Harit Raghunathan. I like it a lot. Volleyball hat of certain spike. Engage in a bit of back and forth. Oh, I was wondering where we're going with that. We're going to pace. Yeah, well, maybe we were having a tense session. So, have a cow. I guess that could be to calve. So I'm assuming Maeve is Otis's love interest in sex education. Liver sliver is a skimpy serving of foie gras. So carne asada, and then rock for one, and we're comic. I don't believe I get that. Is there a comic named Rock? Or is there a comic book named Rock? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. So we have our sulfide over here and a cargo net. So we're coming along here. I mean, assuming I didn't screw something up somewhere, which I could have because I wasn't paying attention. As usual, some dressing in an operating room could be gauze. And had a notch could be 8. So I think one of Daniel Radcliffe's paparazzi could be a Potter spotter. And that's just a cute, clever grid right there is what that is. That's just cute and clever. I'm liking it an awful lot. When a star is first seen, that UT, what do we got going on here? Bit of cream, a little dabble, do ya? So I bet this is a debut. San Francisco, Oakland separator. How about that big old bay? Retailer's counterpart could be a pyre. And a bird whose males incubate the eggs. That would be an emu. And of course, knockover could be a maze. And notwithstanding the fact that we could have fat-fingered something. How did we do, Bob? I'm going to have to learn to turn that up, which I'm going to do right now. Just turning that up so that we want to do that again tomorrow. But probably going to throw in the little ditty at the very end like I did yesterday because I did not turn the volume up as expected of me. So let's admire our grid. So I got to say that the liver sliver, the Potter spotter, the ketchup sketchup, right? The mother smother and the tater stater. Of all of them, I have to say, I think tater stater is pretty funny. That seems like something I'm going to remember and probably use in a comical way at some point in the future. Really thought this was a fabulous grid today, though. I truly enjoyed this one. This was just fun. I don't want to be petty about anything here, right? Or cause anybody to pace the floors, right? But at the end of the day, it was just a fun grid. I really enjoyed it. So a lot of just good times, good energy on this one. Let's bring down our Benny or Dad too, and let's call this one good. And so if you wouldn't mind, if you could hit the like button for me, that would mean the world to me. Thank you so very much. And if you have any comments, please leave them. It always feels like a pretty empty day when there's no comments to read. So even if it's just to say hi, or man, you suck, whatever, just throw it out there. I would appreciate it. I'd love to hear from you no matter what. It's always a great feeling. I love our audience, and when you like the video, you're building the algorithm to show more people like you what we're doing, and that's what we're trying to do, get more people like you and not just an onrush of whomever. So let's just see if we can get that to happen. But until we see you next time, Chitón, fantastic wine. And until then, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there. Be nice to strangers, of course. And remember, those thick foreign accents are nothing more than proof that the person you're speaking with has the heart of a lion, or in French, un cœur de lion. So, we'll see you tomorrow for the Thursday grid. Let there be rebuy. Until then, be well. Cheers.